Loved it. All right, let's
Has
see
everyone had a good? I mean, did we really have weekends anymore?
how well we can get the old.
I don't know. Anyone here enjoy the disco yesterday? Loved it. All right, let's see.
All working.
How well we can get the old.
This is probably all going to be for nothing and then get taken down. So my thought is, if I put a yellow submarine logo on it, so you can't see any
YouTube
of
to get all working.
that stuff, it might think, oh, this is a different video, so it's fine. We'll see.
This is probably all going to be for nothing and get taken down. So my thought is, if I put a yellow submarine logo on it,
fantastic.
so you can't see any of the that stuff, they might think, oh, this is a different video, so it's fine. We'll see.
Looks like we might
I
be
mean, it doesn't look like it's
The only
really.
thing I don't know about on YouTube is
My laptop's
their
really
sound.
struggling. George loved the disco.
Someone watching on
Fantastic.
Hi, Alfie. Let me know if you can hear me. That would be great.
Lovely stuff. Okay, looks like we might be alright. The only thing I don't know about on YouTube is if there's sound. So, someone watching on YouTube, hi Alfie. If you let me know if you can hear me, that would be great.
Ready for another classic sharing Sunday.
And yeah, if it gets taken down, apologies, but I think I've done all I can do
Jade is just
in terms of YouTube. Great.
What that is.
All right, are we ready for another
Yeah, guys.
classic
Singing videos.
sharing Sunday? I
think I've got about 10 altogether.
can't wait. Jade has just done a video to email to me. I wonder what that is. Is it you singing? Yeah, guys, keep those singing videos coming in. I think I've got about 10 altogether now. There's some people are just doing the chorus and stuff like that. Some people are singing to the actual song, which makes it a little bit more tricky, but I'll see what I can do. Hopefully I can change the sound enough to avoid any copyright. It's just the bane of my life, copyright at the moment. Yes, Alfie can hear me. Excellent. Alrighty then. Should we get straight into some pictures? I think we should. Let's go for it. I've just learned how to crop on my streaming thing as well, so
an email saying
should look a little bit better than it usually does.
That's cool, Jade.
Let's
in
make
most
some
places.
Inspired
So, by Ethan. Speaking of Ethan,
Wednesday,
photos you sent of me.
I sent out an email saying, some sign language. That's cool, Jade.
Alfie got a haircut by his sister today.
Let's make some flapjacks. Inspired by Ethan. Speaking of Ethan, I got your photos you sent of me. You sent to me doing some baking, but it was a little bit too late for me to get in the photo stream. But we will have you next week. Alfie got his hair cut by his sister today. How's it looking, Alfie? Did she do a good job? But here we have. I also asked you. This is the 2-for-1. To make something called a jar of awesome. So if you didn't see what the jar of awesome was, the idea is you get an old jar. So say you've had pasta sauce this week, or you've just finished your jam. Keep the jar. Decorate it however you like. You can see that Alex has
and then
put on some Easter stickers and stuff. And anything that's cool or awesome or that's made you really happy that happens, you write it down or you draw it on a little scrap of paper and you put that in your jar. And then once a week or whenever you're feeling a bit sad, you get your jar, you open up your jar of awesome and you look at some of the cool things that have been happening, or the awesome things, or the happy things, and hopefully it'll help you feel a bit better. And you can see that Alex also made some flapjack as well, and that looks really like gooey. That's how I like my flapjack. Alfie says his sister did a great job of doing his haircut. I mean, if we could get a photo at some point, Alfie, we'd love to see it. Maybe ask your mum if she can help you with that. And we can show it next week.
Daniel and Phoebe.
I just remembered Lloyd sent me a picture of his haircut, and I forgot to put it in the feed. I've got his colouring in, but not his haircut. Up next in the Flapjack town, we have
delicious. And
Daniel and Phoebe. Whoop. Can I fit you both in the screen there? There you go. So Daniel and Phoebe made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 8, 10, 11, 12 flapjacks. And they look delicious. And it looks like they've got some extra things in there. I think.
We don't tend to see him for many other
possibly some like raisins or something in there. Looks delicious. So well done. Look, Daniel's like licking his lips. He's ready to
looks like donuts on them.
Munch those flapjacks down.
He's made some great looking.
Next comes a baking regular. We don't tend to see him for many other things, but when it comes to baking, we always see the man Kyle and his fantastic pajama trousers.
Sophia, so here's
what looks like donuts on them.
He was mixing all the ingredients together in the
he's
bowl.
made some great looking flapjacks there. So well done, Kyle. Those look fantastic.
Finished.
Like your t-shirt too. Cool Rick and Morty t-shirt.
Cut them into triangles,
next we've got a couple of Sophia. So here's Sophia when she was mixing all the ingredients together in the bowl. And here is the finished thing. She made a cool almost like pizza slices. Cut them into triangles because her flapjack was round.
Yeah, you all did such great jobs.
Cool, I like it. I like it a lot.
Hey, James Bond.
Move you around a little bit. There you
go. This has been happening whilst I've been looking.
So well done,
so
all
Katie
of our bakers.
Yeah,
you all did such great jobs. Hey, James Bond.
Well done, any baking.
What else has been happening whilst I've been looking at photos? So Katie got back from walking Freddie.
Out of their own volition, without me.
Favourite of the stream, Freddie.
Going to add new.
Yeah, so well done anyone who's done any baking. We've got more baking to show. People things have been making just out of their own volition without me barking orders at them. When we go into our news photos.
He's having a little drink.
Okay, up next. We are going to have a look.
So, yes, thank you very much. And if you haven't made flapjacks yet, make them whenever you want. And whenever you have made them, do send a photo to us, please. Okay, up next. We are going to have a look at a couple of things, actually.
A few different things.
Shredding me to pieces.
First of all, we got Jacob,
a second game of FIFA tomorrow,
who is in the middle, as you may have seen on Monday, in the middle of absolutely shredding me to pieces in a game of FIFA. So we're actually going to have a second game of FIFA tomorrow because a deal in the Zeems PlayStations were updating, so they didn't get their turn to play. And I want to make sure everyone gets a turn to do those kinds of things. So we're going to do another FIFA game tomorrow. So if you do think you're going to play FIFA 18 with us tomorrow, turn it on today and let it do the updating and stuff today. Because I'm sure most of you are playing FIFA 20 at the moment, so you haven't put your FIFA 18 in for 3 years. So,
yeah, play it today.
If you
just to make sure
would like to play FIFA 18 on the PS4 and you've got a PS Plus, unfortunately it has to be a PS4. Can't do cross-platform. So if you've got an Xbox, unfortunately, you can't play it with you.
Jars earlier on when we saw one with.
Yeah, play it today just to make sure it updates and stuff.
Now here is.
But otherwise, a deal and a Z.
Look at that. Love the pink and black.
You'll get the chance to thrash me tomorrow.
Colours.
Now, I mentioned our jars earlier on when we saw one with Alex's flapjacks. Now here is Alexis's jar. Look at that. Love the pink and the black. I really like that combination of colours.
Awesome star.
Was that done with proper glass paint, I wonder?
And she's already got, look how many
Alexis, please do let us know how you made it.
Now, I don't know if she was talking about this.
And we've also got Sophia's jar. Here's Sophia's jar.
But she sent me an email
and on the top it says, perfect,
amazing,
amazing, magic, awesome, star.
But it was the best activity we've got out of...
Possibly well done. And she's already got, look how many things she's already put in there. That's amazing.
42.
Now, I don't know if she was talking about this, or she was talking about her flapjacks, but she sent me an email saying this has been her favourite activity so far.
I have a feeling
so it was the best activity we've got out of...
meeting. So just got to think about what
today is this sharing stream is number 42. Wowzers.
Well, we'll see.
Thinking we should do something big for number 50.
I do have a second idea.
But I have a feeling number 50 is on the same day as I have a Zoom meeting.
We'll think about
so just got to think about what that can possibly be. Because I had one idea, but now if I've got a Zoom meeting,
so yeah, well done.
Can't really do that idea. Well, we'll see.
So if you would like to make
I do have a second idea. Maybe we can do that. Okay, well, let's get.
Anything I send out, you
that's
don't
another
have to
time.
Do it in the week.
Getting too ahead of myself. So
week,
yeah, well done.
Hey, you could do it even when we're.
So if you would like to make
normal, you could still do them. And I'd still love to see photos.
What's the word? Jar?
Yeah.
You know, remember anything I send out, you don't have to do it in the week that I sent it out. You could do it next week. You could do it the week after. Hey, you could do it even when
share things from our awesome jar.
Lockdown's ended and we're all out and back to normal. You could still do them. And I'd still love to see photos of them.
We're gonna have some kind of
so yeah,
I know that much.
I might do an awesome jar this week, and maybe next Sunday we can do a.
So
we can all share things from our awesome jar.
James was going
maybe
to make
we can
save
that for our number
didn't
50.
Have any oats. Now, part of the reason I chose flapjacks.
We're going to have some kind of longer than normal feed. I know that much.
Seeing
the question is how long.
I realised that.
What we'll do.
Hang on. This is a cooking activity that doesn't require.
James was going to make some flapjacks, but unfortunately didn't have any oats. Now, part of the reason I chose flapjacks. After
I have to go out and get some every other day.
Seeing Ethan made them, I realised that hang on,
to
this is a cooking activity that doesn't require any flour.
You usually get them quite cheap as well. So sorry that you couldn't get any. But
and as far as I've been able to tell,
and rock cakes
oats, because I have to go out and get some every other day. Don't seem to be in huge demand, so I was hoping that people would be able to get hold of oats, and they usually get them quite cheap as well. So sorry that you couldn't get any, but lemon coconut cake and rock cakes both sound amazing, James.
Sort of news from the week. Let's have a look what people have.
I'm really curious about that lemon and coconut. What a combination! Did it taste good? The lemon and coconut one.
So. Recently we had St. George's Day, and it looks like
up next we've got people's just general sort of news from the week.
Dragons and knights.
Let's have a look what people have said.
Slightly sang that. I'm not entirely sure
why.
So first of all we got Alex.
So fundraising thing. If you're around Alex,
recently we had St. George's Day, and it looks like around where Alex lives, a lot of people made dragons and knights and things, and you could go and have walks around and you could see all these different things. And you can see on the belly of this dragon here, it says, I heart the NHS. So I wonder if it was a fundraising thing. If you're around, Alex, let us know if it was a fundraising thing. I love it. Next we can see Alex on his walk. I think that might be his sister behind him. And you can see a knight with something on its head. Not entirely sure what that is.
We have,
which looks really, really cool.
Guys,
and Alex is looking great in the sunshine with his sunglasses and his cat.
Of the week. There's two contenders.
Looks like he's really enjoying the
weather. Is one of the contenders, and I don't know. Haven't been able to decide.
Next up, we have.
Okay, I think we'll.
Guys, I'm torn about our photo of the week. There's 2 contenders.
I'd like to show this one now.
What should be next is one of the contenders. And I don't know. I haven't been able to decide yet.
But 2, it's a double rainbow. So there's one here.
Okay, I think we'll. This one and the other one are joint photos of the week.
That's why we're all here.
But I'd like to show this one now, just because it's really cool.
Amazing.
Now, whilst he was out walking, Alex saw not 1 rainbow, but 2. It's a double rainbow. So there's one here.
So wow, spotted.
And there's one there.
This is joint photo of the week.
Double rainbow. I mean, come on now.
We'll get to
That's what it's all about. That's why we're all here.
It kind of has a challenge to it too.
Amazing. I don't know the last time I saw a double rainbow.
This one was another contender.
Don't even know if it was in this country.
Just because it made me laugh, and I think that can't.
So well spotted, Alex. So yes, this is joint photo of the week. Our other photo of the week we'll get to a little bit later, because it kind of has a challenge to it too.
Clothes she normally wears.
Now, this one was another contender photo of the week. But mainly just because it made me laugh. And I think it can't be the thing that makes it photo of the week, just because it makes me laugh.
Why? I just said Ella's being a banana.
Up next, we've got Ella.
From when Ella comes to youth club.
I'm assuming those are just clothes she normally wears.
But she's also...
There's Ella.
Dyed her hair purple.
And for some reason,
I mean...
Ella's dressed as a banana.
This is a perfect time to try.
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't know why. Didn't get told why. I just said Ella's being a banana. And I know from when Ella comes to youth club, she's a banana a lot of the time.
Quite work.
But she's also
suits you, Ella, so
dyed her hair purple.
Matches your top as well.
Look at that. I mean, this is a perfect time to try different hair colours.
Smiley, George Hiley.
And see what you get. Because you don't have to worry about going out and maybe thinking, oh, this doesn't quite work. But I think it really suits you, Ella. So nice choice of colour, and it matches your top as well. Next up, we've got
I wonder if people can guess what that
one is. Smiley, George Hiley.
To be honest, I don't even know if that is the right one.
So George has been in his garden. And he's been making. He's been planting some different vegetables.
George has been planting lettuce.
As you can see in his part. I wonder if people can guess what that one is. It's quite hard to see.
I did a quiz yesterday.
To be honest, I don't even know if that is the right one.
To guess what the plant was, and I did awful.
So
I think these.
And
might
then
be
here
the
we've got
potatoes.
some others. So
I think this might be the lettuce.
George has been planting.
George is here,
lettuce and potatoes.
So
I'm gonna be honest, I don't know much about
up next,
plants. I did a quiz yesterday, and someone had a round where you had to guess what the plant was, and I did awfully. So I think these might be the potatoes. And I think this might be the lettuce.
With her mum.
But George is here, so he can correct me. Tell me what's what.
Says, with love. This one says happy birthday.
Up next, we've got Jenny. So Jenny has been making...
this one says congratulations.
Cards. So Jenny's been with her mum. And she made these lovely cards. This one says with love. This one says happy birthday. It's got sooty and sweep on it. It says 55. So it must be for... This one says 60.
Dog as well. I'd be very happy.
This one says congratulations. George says I'm correct. Thank goodness for that.
She's also been making, I'm told.
And this one also says congratulations.
I'm not entirely
and some
sure
lovely drawings from Jenny, plus some big cow and a sausage dog as well. I'd be very happy to receive one of these cards.
Again, if you're around, Jenny, let us know.
And she's also been making, I'm told, these are Japanese biscuits. I'm not entirely sure
Leo.
What makes them Japanese biscuits.
Leo has spent a lot.
They possibly have
this week blowing.
No, I don't know why they're Japanese biscuits.
And this is really lovely.
Again, if you're around, Jenny, let us know.
Blowing when you can see.
Let us know.
Bits. I don't know what to call them. Blowing around.
Up next, we got Leo. And I've been told that Leo has spent a lot of this week
Lloyd has been doing
blowing dandelion clocks. And this is a really lovely action shot here.
A lovely rainbow.
Leo blowing when you can see some of the.
He's been doing these all for the NHS. Now I don't know if his sister's done something.
I don't know what to call them. Blowing around in front of him there.
He's probably still asleep.
Up next we've got Lloyd. Lloyd has been doing some colouring in.
So, yeah, he's been doing rainbows. And he's done a heart.
He's done a lovely rainbow.
Leaves and
I think he's been doing these all for the NHS. Now I don't know if his sister's done some of these as well. I don't think he's here yet. I've not seen him pop up. He's probably still asleep.
Keeping up with our awesome jars, he's done a colouring that says today is gonna be.
So
awesome.
yeah, he's been doing rainbows and he's done a heart that's kind of like leaves and things like that. And he's written NHS at the bottom.
Really cool.
So I think he has been doing these drawings for the NHS.
Again,
and keeping up with our awesome jars, he's done a colouring that says today is going to be
we've got some bacon
awesome.
From someone we don't see every week.
Lovely use of colours. I always love Lloyd's colouring because he uses really bright colours.
I
think it looks really cool. And this is some shells on a beach. And again, you can see he's gone for really bright colours again. Oh yeah, next we've got some bacon. And it's from someone we don't see every week. We only see every few weeks. But it's always a pleasure to see her. And that's Poppy! So here Poppy was doing some bacon.
Teddy bear and little suitcase.
Oh, I can't remember what she was baking. Oh, apologies Poppy, I can't remember what it is.
And she also got dressed up.
She's also been doing
Friday with Joe Wicks
project at school about evacuees. So she dressed up as an evacuee. It even has the teddy bear and the little suitcase. You can see she's got.
And we haven't had great weather this week.
Wartime clothes on.
May not have been going
and she also got dressed up for Fancy Dress Friday with Joe Wicks.
Put up.
So Joe Wicks can get people to dress up. I can't. Don't know how you do it, Mr. Wicks.
Here's one from last week.
And we haven't had great weather this week.
And he also sent me.
So we may not have been going out as much, but it hasn't stopped Poppy. Here she is on a walk in the rain.
Tom's picture
put up as it needs to be these days, as is recommended.
Bits and pieces. Looks like the.
Here's one from.
Toilet roll
last week, which we didn't quite get in time, and he also sent me a holiday story. So if you bear with me, this is Tom's picture of a dog he made, and he's made a collage by the looks of it. So he's cut out lots of little bits and pieces. Looks like the legs are made of toilet roll tubes. And let me get his holiday.
I can tell you that. He went to see.
So Tom went to Iceland. Really cool country.
About my holiday in Iceland. Day one.
He told me if it ever loads.
Long bus to the hotel.
Oh.
I've done that bus journey.
I can tell you that he went to see.
We drove through the mountains and visited a smelly cave. Filled with what smelled of sulfur dioxide. And that's
about my holiday in Iceland. Day one, started in Reykjavik. Got on a long bus to the hotel. I've done that bus journey, I know it's a long one. Day two, we drove through the mountains and visited a smelly cave filled with what smelled of sulfur dioxide. And that smells a bit like rotten eggs.
A big
Day three,
waterfall.
We visited lots of waterfalls and stopped over the way at many gas stations.
Something like that.
And lastly, day four, visited the Golden Circle and the mud pool spurting hot gas on the way. So the Golden Circle is a big waterfall
but it's a place where...
Ooh, testing my memory. Godfast, something like that. The geyser, which is like hot
you can walk down the little gap and stuff.
Water that gets fired out of the ground. And
bits.
Number three is I can't pronounce it, but it's a place where so you can see where tectonic plates, so the Eurasia plate and the America plate, are coming apart, and you can walk down the little gap and stuff.
Not often.
It's a lovely little way.
yeah, so remember, always do
Naturey
send me
bit.
anything.
I mean, that's all Iceland is a big naturey bit.
Isn't to Yellow Submarine.
Yeah, so lovely to see everyone's news from this week.
Like you just did.
Ah,
I love it.
Glad I'm correct, George. It's not often it happens.
Nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, so remember, always do send me anything you've been up to.
Where are we? Okay.
You can send me stuff that isn't to do with Yellow Submarine, because then we
We're
get
going
to
see some pop stars.
all that kind of
We're
stuff,
going to see some scavenger
like we
hunts.
just did. I love it.
And then we'll come back.
Oh, nom 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 nom.
So, lovely.
Where are we? Okay.
Tom there.
So, up
Tom there.
next,
Next
we are
we've
going
got
to
our
see
sock puppet. So,
some pop stars.
Phoebe made. I don't know
We're
if
going to
Daniel's
see
done as
some
well.
scavenger hunts.
We used paper to do the eyes and the hair. Love that.
And
Maybe I should get my hair like that.
then we'll come back
What do
to
you
it.
think? I've already got the orange. I just need to add the pink.
So, lovely
oh, hey,
dog
she's
picture
flipping
by
around.
Tom there.
Tom
Tom Air
looks
there.
like maybe some
Next,
ears.
we've got our
Or
sock
is it two
puppet.
sets of
So,
eyes? I don't know. Or
this
is
is
that
one
like
Phoebe
the
made.
mustache?
I don't know if Daniel made one as well.
See. So
And
we
she
got
used
eyes
paper
here.
to do the eyes and the hair. Love that hair
Then we got
colour.
a big mustache.
Maybe I should get
This
my
is
hair like
nostril.
that. What do you all think?
Oh, I'm a bit lost.
So I've already got the orange. I just
Big
need to
Daniel
add the
and
pink.
Phoebe are here, so if you can give me a bit of guidance. that'd be
Oh,
great.
hey, she's flipping around. Oh, there we go.
These are ears,
Um,
and that's the hair.
And it looks like maybe
There's
some
some
ears
eyes
at the
there.
top there. Or has it got two
Nose?
sets of eyes?
Oh,
I don't know.
don't know.
Or is that nostrils and it's a mustache?
Halloween.
Oh, I see. So we got eyes here. And then we got a big mustache. Is this the nostril?
George
No.
Wilson is
Oh, I'm a
puppet.
bit lost.
Look at that.
I think Daniel
Ears.
and Phoebe
Oh,
are
it's
here,
all
so if you
me.
can give me a bit of guidance, that'd be great.
Oh, whoa.
So maybe these are ears, and that's the hair. There's some eyes, and that's the mouth. Nose. Oh, I don't
George
know
is here. He
anymore.
can remind us of what it's called.
Apologies.
He's gone for the tongue. He used some buttons for eyes. I'm not sure what his nose
George
is.
also made a
There's
sock
bow
puppet.
around the head with the feather.
Look at that. And
That's
his.
cool.
Oh, they told me the
So
name.
well done, George. Fantastic sock.
Oh, well.
On Monday, we had our recreational.
George is here. He
activity.
can remind us of
He
what
was
it's
supposed
called.
to make, his favourite singers and pop stars.
He's gone for
So
the
here,
tongue. He
Alex
used some
has done a
buttons
picture
for
of Taylor
eyes.
Swift. Fantastic drawing.
I'm not sure what his nose is, and I love the bow around the head with the feather.
And
That looks really
Sophia
cool. So well done,
did
George. Fantastic sock puppet.
Megan Trainor. She's really captured Megan Trainor's head.
On Monday, we had our
That's-
recreational
I'm thinking of the
activity.
right person.
You were
I
supposed to
must-
make your favourite singers and pop
What
stars.
she looks like.
So here, Alex has done a picture of
So
Taylor
well done,
Swift.
Sophia. Lovely.
Fantastic drawing.
Puts
Um,
both Alex and Sophia put my Bowie hamster
And
to shame.
Sophia did
Next up,
Megan
we got some people's
Trainor.
scavenger hunt
She's really
results.
captured Megan
On
Trainor's
Thursday,
hair
I
there.
sent a indoor
That's-
scavenger hunt because the weather
if I'm
wasn't
thinking
so
of the
good.
right person, I must be,
Sent one for
because
us
the hair
for
reminds
in
me
our house.
of what she looks
And
like.
we had lots of different
Um,
things to find.
So well done, Sophia.
Pretty
Lovely.
much.
Puts both Alex
All
and
three of
Sophia
these,
put my Bowie hamster
people
to
are
shame.
top scorers because they found everything.
Next up, we got some people's scavenger hunt
So,
results.
find
On
Alex.
Thursday, I sent
Here's Alex,
a
look at that, he's got
indoor
lots of things.
scavenger hunt because
He's
the
found
weather
it.
wasn't
You
so
can see
good.
he's checking his list
I sent one for us to do
on
in
the
our
phone
house,
there. He's making
and
sure
you had
he's
lots
got
of different
everything.
things to find.
Then we've
and
got good old
Pretty
James Bond.
much,
He's got a real good collection of stuff.
all three
there.
of these
Look at that.
next people are top scorers because they
Different
found
bits and
everything.
pieces. There's his favourite snuggly
So
teddy.
Sophia didn't find that,
There's
but
something he
Alex.
feels cozy
So
in.
here's Alex. Look at that. He's got
Onesie.
lots of things he's found here, and you can see he's
And
checking
here's
his list
Sophia's haul.
on his phone there. He's making sure he's got
lots of
everything.
books. Copy of Shrek.
Then we've
Nice.
got good old James Bond.
New stuff
He's
down
got a
there,
real
which is
good
cool.
collection of stuff there. Look at that.
A few different books. I'm curious what this book is.
Lots of different
Arsenic
bits and
Fatigue.
pieces.
Sounds
There's his
dangerous.
favourite snuggly teddy.
All right,
There's
now
something he feels
last,
cozy in. His
couple of
Mario
pictures
hood
before we get to
onesie.
our joint photo.
And
of the
here's
week,
Sophia's
which is a kind of a
haul.
challenge
So
attached
look,
to it.
she's got lots of different books.
Uh,
Copy of Shrek.
Our
Nice.
workout on Thursday.
Got a few
I
stuffed
think our
animals for
workout this
Sophia.
Thursday may have been
Looks great.
the hardest
A
workout
few different
we've
books.
done
I'm
yet.
curious what this book is. Arsenic for tea.
George renamed
Sounds
his
dangerous.
puppet Jensen.
Alright, now
Button.
last
I mean, come on
couple of
now.
pictures before we get to
Chinese
our
really strong with their pun
joint
game.
photo of the week.
which is a kind of a challenge attached to it. From our workout on Thursday. I think our workout this Thursday may have been the hardest workout we've done yet.
Planking.
George renamed his puppet Jensen Button. I mean, come on now. Kylie's always strong with their pun game.
Loads of more difficult exercises. And our man Jacob,
yeah, so our workout on
like he's a bit of a planking
on Tuesday, Thursday, sorry. Easily the hardest one we've done yet. Planking.
This is sensational stuff. Look at him doing that
biking
plank there.
With invisible bikes on our back.
Impressive stuff.
Lots of different more crunches.
Yeah, a lot of people after that workout
loads of more difficult exercises. And our man Jacob here seems like he's a bit of a planking king.
I'm exhausted.
If I ever own a pirate boat, I'm just going to hire Jacob and people can walk off him. Because this is sensational stuff. Look at him doing that sideways plank there.
Too unhealthy. These workouts.
Impressive stuff, Jacob. Yeah, a lot of people after that workout were saying, "Oh, I'm so tired. I'm shattered. I'm exhausted."
The next day, I was complaining to Florence quite a few times in the day, going, "Oh, my legs! My legs!" Too unhealthy I am. These workouts. Whew.
I want you to do this one last.
I'm going to be like, Arnold Schwarzenegger. We all will at the end of the week be like, "Oh, yes. Check out my bosses."
Earlier on.
Right, our photo of the week. Well, it's technically 3 photos, and it's a joint photo of the week, because Alex's double rainbow.
Did some cooking.
Because it was really hard to choose between them. But I want you to do this one last, because I'm going to make a challenge to everyone at the same time. So, earlier on, Mr. George Hiley mentioned that he had played some cricket in his garden. He also did some cooking. Now, George made a bacon sandwich.
Here he is with his bacon sandwich.
Let's see, there he is.
George's mum tells me this is the first time that George...
There he is making the bacon sandwich.
Made a bacon sandwich by himself. So well done, George.
Look at the concentration on George's face.
Well done indeed,
He's ready. Not so sure about the England rugby top, though.
And that got
wearing a Wales one, George. And then...
Maybe...
Here he is with his bacon sandwich. This week, George's mum tells me this is the first time that George has ever made a bacon sandwich by himself. So well done, George.
Done without someone helping.
Well done indeed, sir.
Something as uninteresting.
And that got me thinking.
Using the washing machine by yourself.
Maybe.
Or the dishwasher. So if you don't know how to use it,
we should all have a try of something this week. So this is my challenge for everyone. We're all going to try something this week that A, we've either never done before, or B, we've never done without someone helping. So could be something as interesting as machine by yourself, or the dishwasher. So you don't have to use it maybe for a couple of days, someone can help you and show you how to do it, and then on before Sunday, we will you have a go at doing it all by yourself. Or it could be learning to cook something and being able to do it all by yourself.
Learn something new.
There are lots of different things you can think of.
So
maybe you could talk to someone you live with who might be able to help you come up with an idea. Or it could be like a new skill. It might be, oh, I've never played an instrument before. I'm going to try and do something like that.
This week.
And maybe it could be
when I made my Bowie hamster, I've kind
a language. It could be sign language. You might learn something new. Lots of different potential things. So
a big red.
Could be a kind of art you've never tried before.
Harry Potter now. I've got a little red scar on its forehead.
So if you could send me any photos or news about something you've tried this week that is new. I don't know if you know. When I made my Bowie hamster, I've kind of stained the hamster face.
Is your challenge for this week.
You can't quite see it because the light. You've got a big red kind of line going down it. Looks like Harry Potter now. Got a little red scar on its forehead.
You try and do these things.
Maybe I should have kept the Bowie face on it. I don't know.
Well done, George. Says
I got distracted. What was I saying?
Lovely name.
Yes. So,
Katie,
trying something new or trying something without any help for the first time ever is your challenge for this week. And then send me any photos, any videos,
anything
that you have when you
thing you've never tried before, or you've not ever had
try and do these things. Yeah.
Yourself. Can be anything.
Well done, George, says James. Lovely name, says Katie for Jensen Button.
It could even be
Alright.
Yellow Submarine to the back.
Does anyone have any other news? It can be anything a deal.
That'd be a good one.
It could be anything you've never tried before or you've not ever had a chance to try and do by yourself.
Like to share with us
Can be anything. Can even be something silly if you want.
The boy in the dress.
It could even be singing Yellow Submarine to the backing track and sending it to Jack.
Any other news?
That would be a good one.
You've got planned for today or planned for next week?
Okay.
Or
Does anyone have any other news they'd like to share with us in the comments
you've done this
before we get on to
just
the
to
boy
help
in the
fill some
dress?
time whilst I get Instagram ready.
Let me know. Any other news? Anything you got planned for today or planned for next week or
Nope. All quiet.
things you've done this morning? Just to help fill some time whilst I get Instagram ready.
Here we go. Hello,
Oop.
Instagram. Well, not quite. They haven't got a camera angle yet. We've got to get my good side.
Nope. All quiet.
Here we go. Hi, Instagram. Welcome to the
Here
party.
we go. Hello, Instagram.
Oh, George did a music quiz to his friends.
Well, not quite. They haven't got a camera angle yet.
France.
They've got to get my good side.
Had to answer questions on ABBA.
See.
Nice.
Here we
Be
go.
working all next week as always from tomorrow.
Hi, Instagram.
Wait, tomorrow's Monday. Deal.
Welcome to the party, pal.
Does that mean you won't be able to join us for FIFA?
Oh, George did a music quiz to his friends in France and had to answer questions on ABBA. Nice.
Hi, Luke. How are you doing?
Deal is going to be working
Freddie.
all next week as always from tomorrow 1 till 10. Wait, tomorrow's Monday, a deal. Does that mean you won't be able to join us for
Sorry, I just got to find out.
FIFA?
Yeah.
But it was for you.
My bookmarks fallen out.
Katie's going to help.
Hi,
Hi, Luke. How are you doing?
Today, then,
Help
Luke?
walk Freddie. She's got the week off, so she's probably just going to be relaxing,
tomorrow.
putting her feet up.
Whew.
and
Thought I was going to miss
taking
the
her
opportunity
time.
for you to really destroy me at FIFA. Then a deal. How terrible!
I just
was
got to
that?
find our page.
Okay, so
My bookmarks
Last
fallen out.
time because we were running a bit.
There we
late,
go.
We didn't read as much.
And the
as we
deal's still
usually would.
fasting as well. How are you doing today then,
But
Luke?
today we are going
Welcome.
nice
I
and
mean,
on
apart
time.
from tomorrow. Gotcha. Whew. Thought I was going to miss the opportunity for you to really destroy me at FIFA then, a deal. How
Too
terrible
soon.
would that have been?
But we've got
Okay, so
50 minutes to see
last
if I can manage
time.
all week
because we were running a bit late, we didn't read as much as we usually would.
as live stream.
But today we are going
live streams.
nice and on time.
But yes, last time
We had no
last
tactic.
time
Well,
on the board,
don't wanna
on the dress. So
speak
Dennis
too soon.
and
but
Lisa
basically we've
had
got
the idea for Dennis to
50
dress
minutes
up
to see if I could have managed to do the
as
whole
Denise, the
week
French
without a
exchange
technical
student, and go
issue.
into school to see if they could trick
as it's live
people,
streamed. I've had technical issues
into
off
thinking that
the
he
live
was a-
streams.
He was a girl, a different person. So
But yes, last
most
time,
of the day,
last
Lisa
time,
going to her
of the
lessons
boy in the dress.
and had
So
most
Dennis
beautiful balls.
and
much
Lisa
so
had the idea
He
for Dennis to dress
made
up
her
in
teacher
as
cry.
Denise, the
because,
French exchange student,
and go into
French
school
teacher tried
to see if they
French
could
teacher
trick
tried to
people
talk to Dennis
into
in
thinking
French,
that he was a
but she
he
didn't
was a
really
girl, a different
understand that he was
person.
pretending to be French.
So
told
he
the
spent
French teacher
most of the day with
that he
Lisa
couldn't
going to her
understand a
lessons
word the French
and
teacher was
had
saying,
most people
and that
fooled,
her
so
French
much
wasn't
so
very good, which made her cry.
he
This then made Lisa
made
really angry.
her French teacher cry.
Now they were
because,
about to go and apologise.
Her French
to the
teacher
French
Lisa's French teacher
as
tried
they
to
were
talk to
walking,
Dennis in French,
came
which he
over,
didn't really understand,
because
but he was
Dennis loves
pretending to be
football
French.
so much, he couldn't
So
resist
he
urge
told
to
the
kick
French
the
teacher
football,
that he couldn't understand a word the
and as
French
he did,
teacher was
his
saying,
shoe came off,
and that her
and he
French
fell
wasn't very
backwards,
good, which
and
made
his
her
wig
cry.
came off,
This then made
and
Lisa
everyone
get
could
really
see
angry at him.
that Denise was really Dennis.
Now they were about to go and
His head teacher
apologise
came
to the
in,
French
was
teacher,
really horrible to him.
and that as they were
so he was
walking,
ashamed of
a
himself,
football came
and
over,
then
and because Dennis loves
he
football so much, he couldn't
expelled
resist
him
the urge to kick
from
the football,
that's
and
where
as he
we
did,
got to.
his
So
shoe
on
came
chapter
off,
15,
and he fell
page
backwards, and his wig came off,
106.
and everyone could
Chapter
see
is called
that Denise was really Dennis.
There was nothing more.
His head
said.
teacher came in, was really
Once
horrible
again,
to
I can't
him,
remember any
said he
voices
should
I
be
did
ashamed
before,
of
so
himself, and then
Don't expect that level
he
of consistency.
expelled him
But I think you should know that
from the school.
watching my daily stream.
And that's where we got to. So we're on chapter 15, page 166,
Expelled.
and the chapter is
Yes,
called
Dad.
There
Expelled.
Was Nothing More to
Yes.
Say.
What on
Once
earth
again,
for?
can't remember any voices I did for
Dennis and
anyone,
his dad
so
were sitting in the lounge. It was
don't
5
expect
p.m.
that level
and
of
Dennis had
consistency.
washed the makeup from
But I
his
think you
face
should know that
and
from
changed back into his own
watching my
clothes.
daily streams, that
He hoped
there's no
this might at least
level
soften
of
his blow.
consistency.
Something wrong.
Expelled? Yes, Dad.
Well,
Expelled?
Dennis wasn't sure
Yes.
he could find the words.
What on earth
He
for?
wasn't sure. if
Dennis and his dad
he
were
could
sitting in
ever
the
find
lounge.
the words.
It was 5 p.m. and Dennis
He
had
went to
washed
school
the
dressed
makeup
up
from
as
his
a
face
girl,
and changed
shouted
back
John,
into his own
pointing
clothes.
at Dennis as if he was an
He
alien
hoped
who
this
had
might at
momentarily
least
fooled
soften the
everyone
blow.
by taking human form.
He'd been wrong.
He had clearly been listening at the door. You got dressed
Well,
up as a girl? Asked Dad.
Dennis wasn't sure he could
Yes,
find the
replied
words.
Dennis.
He
Have you done
he
this
wasn't
before?
sure if he could ever
Couple of
find the
times.
words. He went to
Couple
school
of
dressed up as
times.
a girl!
Do you like
Shouted John,
dressing up as
pointing
a
at
girl?
Dennis as if he was
Dennis
an
had a
alien
look
who
of
had
distress in
momentarily
his eyes
fooled
that Dennis
everyone by
hadn't seen
taking
since
human
his mother
form.
left.
He had clearly been listening
That's
at the door. You
Well,
got
either you
dressed
do
up
or
as
you
a
don't.
girl? Asked Dad.
Deep breath.
Yes, replied Dennis.
Well, yes, Dad.
Have you
I
done
do.
this before?
It's just
A couple of times. A couple of times? Do you
What have I
like
done
dressing
to
up as a
deserve
girl?
this?
Dennis had a
My
look of
son
distress
likes
in his eyes
wearing
that Dennis hadn't
dresses.
seen since his mum had left.
I
A
don't,
bit.
Dad, said John. You
Well,
can
either
score a
you
point.
do or you
I've
don't.
never put on a dress. Not even as a
Deep
joke,
breath.
and I never will.
Well, yes, Dad, I do. It's just fun.
Thanks, John, said Dad. That's okay, Dad. Can I go to the fridge?
What
and
have I
have a
done
Magnum?
to deserve this?
Yes, said Dad.
My son likes wearing
You can have a
dresses.
Magnum.
I don't,
Thanks,
Dad,
said
said John, eager
glowing
to
with
score a
pride as
point.
if he had
I've
been
never
given
put on a
badge
dress,
and said,
not
"Number
even as a
one,
joke,
son."
and I never will.
That's it. No more watching that show, Small England or whatever
Thanks,
it's called.
John,
where those
said
two
Dad.
idiots dress up as
That's
ladies.
okay, Dad. Can I
It's
go
a
to the
bad
freezer and have a
influence.
Magnum?
Talking about
Yes,
Little Britain,
said Dad,
Dave
distracted.
Wales
You can have a Magnum.
is in. Yes, Dad.
Thanks, Dad, said John, glowing with
Now
pride
go to
as if
your
he had
room
been
and
given
do
the
your
badge that
homework.
said number one son on it. That's it. No
I've
more
done
watching
my
that
homework.
show, Small
I've been
England
expelled.
or whatever it's called,
Oh,
where
yes,
those two
said
idiots
Dennis'
dress up
dad.
as ladies. It's a bad
Dennis's
influence.
dad thought for a moment.
Talking about Little Britain,
Well,
which
just
David
go to your
Adams
room.
is-
Dennis
in.
passed John, who was sitting on the stairs,
Yes, Dad.
gleefully enjoying his Magnum. He lay
Now
on his
go
bed
to your
inside
room
his
and do
thinking
your
how everything
homework.
had been ruined simply by putting on a dress. Dennis took
I
out
haven't
the
got any
photograph
homework.
saved from the
I've been
bonfire,
expelled.
showed John and Mum.
Oh yes, said Dennis's dad.
It was all he had left now.
Dennis's
He
dad
gazed
thought
at
for
the
a
picture.
moment.
He
Well,
would
just
give
go to your
anything
room.
to be on that beach again.
Dennis
Ice
passed
cream
John,
round
who was
his mouth,
sitting on the stairs,
holding on to his
gleefully
mum's
enjoying
hand.
his Magnum.
Maybe
He
if
lay on his
stared
bed
long
in
enough
silence,
into it,
thinking
he
how
would
everything
disappear
had
back
been
into a
ruined
happy sleep.
simply by putting on a dress.
But
Dennis
suddenly,
took out the photograph he saved from the bonfire of
was
him,
torn
John and Mum
out of his
at the
hands.
beach.
Dad held it up.
It was
What's
all he had
this?
left now.
It's just
He
a
gazed
picture,
at the
Dad.
picture.
But
He
I
would
burnt
give
them all.
anything to be
I
on
don't
that
want
beach
any
again with
reminders
ice
of
cream
that
round his
woman
mouth,
in the
holding
house.
onto his mum's hand. Maybe if he stared long enough
I'm
into
sorry,
it,
Dad.
he would
It
disappear
just
back
floated
into that
out of
happy
the
scene.
bonfire onto a hedge.
But suddenly,
Well, now it's going into the
the
bin,
picture
like your
was
magazine.
torn out of his hands.
Please, Dad,
Dad held
let
it
me
up.
keep it.
What's
Dennis
this?
snatched the photograph back.
It's just a picture,
How
Dad.
dare you? Give it to
But
me.
I burnt them
now!
all. I don't want
Shouted
any
Dad.
reminders of that woman in the
Dennis
house.
had never been so angry. He tentatively handed him the picture back.
I'm sorry,
Have you
Dad.
got any
It
others?
just floated out of the
No,
bonfire onto a hedge.
One, I promise.
Well, now it's going
I
into
don't
the
know
bin,
what to believe
like your
anymore.
magazine.
I blame your
Please,
mum for
Dad,
this
don't.
dressing
Let me
up
keep
business
it.
Anyway.
Dennis
She was
snatched the
always too
photograph
soft
back.
on you.
How dare you? Give it to me.
Carried on,
Now!
looking forward.
Shouted Dad.
Dennis was silent.
Dennis had never
Nothing
been so
more to say.
angry. He tentatively handed him the picture back.
He heard the door
Have you
slam.
got any others?
An hour went
No,
by.
Dad.
Or was
That's
it
the
a
only
day,
one.
or a month,
I
or a
promise.
year? Dennis wasn't sure.
I don't know
anymore.
what to believe
The
anymore.
Was
I
somewhere
blame your
between
mother for all this
what to do
dressing up
and
business
what to do
anyway.
in his future.
She was always too soft on you.
Hi, Lloyd. His life was over.
He carried
He was only
on,
12.
looking forward. Dennis was silent. There was nothing more to say. He heard the door slam.
Sat looking
An hour went by. Or was it a day? Or a month? Or a year?
The doorbell
Dennis wasn't sure
rang,
anymore.
And a few
The
minutes
present
later,
was
Dennis
somewhere
heard
he
Darvash's
didn't
voice
want to be,
downstairs,
and he
then
couldn't see
dad,
his future.
Then his dad's.
Hi, Lloyd. His life was over.
He's
And he was
not
only
really-
12.
He's not allowed over his room, I'm afraid, Darvish.
Here he is.
But I really need to see him, Mr. Sims.
There he is.
It's not possible, I'm afraid. Not
sad.
today. Did you see that stupid girl, Lisa, who John
The doorbell
up to dress
rang,
up?
and a few minutes
Tell
later,
her to
Dennis
never
heard
show her
Darvash's
face
voice
again.
downstairs. Then he's down.
Can you
Then
tell
his
him I'm
dad's.
still his friend? Whatever's happened, he's still my friend.
He's not
Can you
really.
tell
He's
him?
not allowed over his room, I'm afraid, Darvish.
I'm not
But I
talking
really
him
need
at
to
the
see him,
moment,
Mr.
Darvish.
Sims.
Best you go.
It's not possible, I'm
Dennis heard
afraid.
the door
Not
shut
today.
and went to the
Have you
window.
see that
You see
stupid girl,
Darvish
Lisa,
walking
who
slowly
John
down
says
the
put
drive.
him up to dressing up?
Packed her.
Tell her to
Went
never
to the
show her
window.
face again.
Darvish turned back and caught sight of
Can you
Dennis
tell him I'm
looking
still
through
his
the
friend?
window.
Whatever's
smiled
happened,
sadly,
he's still my friend.
giving a little
Can you
wave.
tell him that?
Dennis put his hand up to wave back. Then Darvish
I'm not
disappeared
talking to him at the
out of
moment,
sight.
Darvish. It's best you go. Dennis heard the door shut
Dennis
and then went
spent
to the
the whole
window.
day
You
holed
could
up
see
in his room,
Darvish walking
hiding.
slowly down the drive, his
Just as night fell,
getting
Dennis
wet
heard
in the
quiet
rain.
tapping on the window.
Darvish
It
turned
was
back
Lisa.
and caught sight of
She was
Dennis up
standing
at his
on a ladder,
bedroom window.
trying to talk
He
in a
smiled
hushed
sadly,
tone
giving a
as
little
possible.
wave. Dennis put his hand up to wave back.
Dennis,
Then Darvish
to
disappeared
speak
out
to
of
you.
sight.
I'm not allowed to speak to you anymore.
Dennis spent the whole day holed up in his room, hiding from his dad.
Dennis opened the window and Lisa climbed
Just
in.
as night
and
fell,
sat back
Dennis
down
heard a
on the
quiet tapping
bed.
on the
I'm sorry,
window.
Dennis. I'm
It was
really
Lisa.
sorry.
She was
I thought
standing
we'd
on
be
a ladder
friends.
and
I
trying
didn't
to
think
talk
you'd
in a
end up like
hushed
this.
tone
She
as
put
possible.
on a hand on his shoulder.
What do
stroking
you
his hair.
want? asked
No one
Dennis.
had stroked
I
Dennis's
need to speak
hair
to
for
you.
years. His mum used
I'm
to
not
do it every
allowed to
night
speak
as
to
she
you
put him to
anymore.
bed. Somehow it made
Just
him
let me in
cry.
for a minute, please. Dennis opened the window and Lisa climbed in.
I
He
mean,
sat back
why
down
are
on the
girls
bed.
allowed to wear dresses and
I'm
boys
sorry,
aren't?
Dennis.
It doesn't
I'm
make
really
any
sorry.
sense.
I thought it would be fun.
It's okay.
I didn't
Lisa.
think it would end up like
I
this.
mean, expelled.
She put on a hand
It's
on
just
his
not
shoulder,
fair.
stroking
Child
his
babies
hair.
didn't even get expelled
No
by
one
the
has
school
stroked Dennis's hair for
inspectors.
years. His mum used to do it every night when she tucked him into bed. Somehow it
I
made
know.
him want to
I'm
cry.
sorry. Look, I never meant all this to happen.
It's ridiculous, isn't
It's
it?
crazy.
Lisa
I'm
whispered.
going to get
I mean,
Audrey to
why
have
are
you
girls
back
allowed
at
to
school.
wear dresses and boys aren't?
Lisa,
It doesn't make any sense.
I am. I don't know how
It's
yet.
okay, Lisa.
But I promise.
I mean, expelled. It's just not fair.
Lisa hugged
Carl
him and kissed
Bates
him
didn't
for
even
a
get
moment,
expelled
just
for
shy.
mooning the
It
school
was a
inspectors.
glorious kiss. How could
And
it be
I'm gonna
anything
miss the
but
football
glorious?
final.
After all, her mouth
I
was
know.
shaped like a kiss.
I'm sorry. Look, I
Dennis,
never meant all this
I
to happen.
promise.
It's just crazy. I'm going to get Hawtrey to have you back
16.
at school.
With
Lisa.
or without the dress.
I am. I don't know how yet. But I
It wasn't
promise.
until the weekend that Dennis was allowed out of
Lisa
the
hugged him and kissed him
Dad
for a
had
moment,
locked the
just shy
computer
of
away
his
in the
lips.
cupboard,
It
and
was
Dennis
a glorious
forbidden to
kiss.
watch the television
How could it
so
be
he had
anything
missed
but
another
glorious?
episode of
After all, her
Submastream.
mouth was shaped like a kiss.
Finally, on Saturday
Dennis,
morning,
I
Dad
promise.
and Dennis was let out for the day.
Chapter 16.
Darvesh's flat
With or without the dress.
On the way, he stopped off at Raj's to get something to eat.
It wasn't until the
He
weekend that Dennis was allowed out of his house.
Pocket money had been
Dad had locked the
in
computer away in a cupboard, and Dennis was
Raj
forbidden to
greeted him
watch
as
the
warmly as
television, so he
yours
had
did.
missed a number
my
of
favourite
episodes
customer,
of Trisha.
explained
Finally,
Raj.
on Saturday morning,
Raj.
Dad relented, and Dennis was let out for the day. He wanted to go round to Darvesh's flat to wish him luck for the final. On the way, he stopped off at Raj's to get something to eat.
He
He only had 13p to spend, as his pocket money had been frozen indefinitely.
It's nice to see
Raj
you,
greeted
Dennis.
him as warmly as he always did.
Told me what
Ah,
happened.
my
I'm
favourite
very
customer! Exclaimed
Thanks,
Raj.
Raj.
Hi, Raj.
I must
Dennis
say, you
muttered
had me fooled, though.
mutedly.
Very good you look, Dennis.
Have you got anything for
I
13p?
mean, big expense, but
Let me
yes.
think. Half a
absurd.
chop bar.
You haven't done anything
Dennis
wrong.
smiled. It was the first time he had
You
smiled in a
mustn't be
week.
made to feel like you have.
It's nice to see you,
Thanks,
Dennis.
Raj.
Lisa
Please,
told me what
help
happened at
yourself to
school.
some
I'm
free
very sorry.
confectionery.
Thanks, Raj.
Wow.
I must say, you had me fooled, though.
Dennis is
Very
right,
good
lit
you
up
look, Dennis.
To the value
Denise.
of
Ha
22p.
But I mean, being expelled for putting on a dress?
Watching Darvesh
It's
practice
absurd.
for the final
You haven't done
was
anything
harder
wrong.
than Dennis had imagined.
Dennis.
Not
You
being
mustn't
able
be
to
made
play
to
was
feel
the
like
worst
you
part of
have.
being expelled. I'm gutted you're not in the team today,
Thanks,
Dennis.
Raj. Please,
Darvesh
help
said
yourself to some free
Dennis.
confectionery.
You're our star striker.
Wow. Thanks.
You guys
Dennis's
would be
eyes lit up.
said Dennis.
To the value of
We don't stand a
22p.
chance without you, and you know it. That
Watching
orgy was
Darvesh
so
pack his
evil
football kit for
expelling
the
you.
final was harder than Dennis had
Well,
imagined.
It's done now.
Not being
isn't it?
able to play was the
Well,
worst part
indeed.
of being expelled.
There,
I'm
that's
gutted you're not in
something.
the team today,
No,
Dennis,
unfair. It's
said
only
Darvesh
dressing
as he
up.
sniffed his
Doesn't
socks,
bother
checked they
me,
were
you
clean.
know. You're still
You're our
Dennis,
star
with me,
striker.
with or without the dress.
You
Dennis
guys will
was
be
really
okay,
touched.
said
I
Dennis
wanted to hug
supportively.
Darvesh, but being
We don't
part
stand a
of the
chance
team
without
was
you, and you
really
know it.
fatal.
That Hawtrey is so evil expelling you. Well, it's done now, isn't it? There's nothing I can do. There must be something. It's so unfair. It's only dressing up. Doesn't bother me, you know.
Those
You're
high
still
heels
Dennis,
have
my
been
mate, with or without the
uncomfortable,
dress.
said Darvesh.
Dennis was really
Murder,
touched and
said
wanted to
Dennis
hug
laughing.
Darvesh, but being 12-year-old boys, hugging
Here's
wasn't
your
really something they
pre-match
did.
snack, said Darvesh's mum as she entered the room, carrying a tray piled high with food. Oh, what's all this, Mum? Moaned Darvesh. I made you a little masala, some rice, dal...
Those high
chapati,
heels
some
must have
loafies,
been
followed by a
uncomfortable,
wall
though,
of Viennetta.
said Darvesh. They're murder,
Can't eat all
said
this
Dennis,
now, Mum.
laughing.
I'll throw up. The game is in an
Here's
hour.
your pre-match snack, said Darvesh's mum as she entered the
You
room,
need your
carrying a
thoughts,
tray
boy.
piled high with
Doesn't he,
food.
Dennis?
Oh, what's all this, Mum? Moaned Darvesh. I made you a little masala,
Well,
some
yes.
rice, dal, a
Yes,
chapati,
yes,
samosas,
I
followed by a
suppose.
walled Viennetta.
You tell him, Dennis. He wouldn't listen
Can't
to
eat
me.
all this now,
You know,
Mum.
I'm so sad
I'll
you're
throw
not
up.
playing
The
today.
game is in an hour.
Thanks. It's been a
You
horrible
need your
week,
strength, boy.
replied Dennis.
Doesn't he, Dennis?
You poor boy, expelled for just not wearing the correct school uniform. Darvesh never told me.
Well,
What
yes.
were you wearing?
Dennis hesitated. I suppose.
It doesn't really
You tell him,
matter,
Dennis. He wouldn't
Said
listen to
Darvesh.
me.
You
You
texted
know, I'm
her
so
over
sad you're not
the
playing today.
Mum. No, it's okay. I don't mind her knowing,
Thanks.
said Dennis.
It's been a horrible week,
Knowing
replied
what?
Dennis.
Asked
You
Darvesh's mum.
poor boy, expelled for
Well-
just not wearing the correct school
Dennis
uniform.
paused before continuing in a serious
Darvesh never told me.
I
What
went to
exactly
school
were
in
you
an orange
wearing?
sequin dress. There was a silence. for a moment.
It doesn't really matter, Mum, said Darvesh. He attempted
Oh,
to hurry
Dennis,
her out of his
she said.
room.
What a terrible
No,
thing to
it's
do.
okay. I don't mind her
Dennis
knowing,
paled.
said Dennis.
I mean, orange is really not your
Knowing
colour,
what?
Dennis.
asked Darvesh's mum.
With your light hair, you
Well,
probably look better in a pastel colour like
Dennis
pink or
paused before
baby
continuing in a serious tone.
blue.
I went to school wearing an orange
thank
sequin
you.
dress.
Said Dennis.
There was a silence for
Yeah.
a moment.
For you all.
Oh, Dennis, she said. What a terrible thing to do.
She's fine. I think she's outside.
Dennis paled. I mean, orange is really not your
No.
colour, Dennis, she continued. With your light hair, you probably look better in a pastel colour like pink or baby blue.
Yeah, I think she's out.
Thank you, said
she's doing
Dennis. Here's a picture
Where was I?
for you all. Some people are asking how my cat is.
nice.
She's fine. I think
You
she's
can come to me
outside.
any time for style advice. Now come on, Darvesh, eat up. I'll just go and start the car, she said as she left the room. Your mum's
I think
cool,
she's out.
said Dennis. I love her.
But she's doing well.
I love her too, but she's nuts,
where was I?
said Darvesh with a laugh. So are you going to come and watch the game then? Everyone will be there.
My pleasure.
I
You can come to me anytime for style advice.
I know.
Now come on, Darvesh, eat up.
But come with us.
I'll just go and start the car, she said as she left the room.
If only to cheer us on, please.
Your mum's cool, said Dennis. I love her.
I don't know if I should, said Dennis.
I love her too, but she's nuts, said Darvesh with a laugh.
Chapter 17.
So are you going to come and watch the game then? Everyone will be there.
Street, but not the
I don't know.
Have a different spelling.
I know it'll be a bit
Dennis
weird for you,
sick
but come with us. It won't be the same without you. We need you there, Dennis. If only to cheer us on, please.
Excitedly around the pitch. Darvesh's mum looked
I
like
don't know if I should, said Dennis. She had elbowed her way to the front of the crowd. Questions? Chapter 17.
She said,
Magdalen Street, but not the Magdalen Street.
Mr.
We have
Hawtrey
a
was next to
different
Darvesh's
spelling.
mum. He was sitting on a strange
Dennis felt sick as the referee's whistle blew for the start of the game. People's parents and teachers were all grouped excitedly around the pitch. Darvesh's mum looked like she was going to explode with excitement. She had elbowed her way to the front of the crowd. Come on, football! She said, kept shouting with joyful anticipation. Mr. Hawtrey was next to Darvesh's mum. He was sitting on a strange contraption that was half walking stick and half seat. I really want one of those.
Was surprised.
The fact that the headmaster had was the only person sitting
I didn't even know you
made him look very important.
Well, it is
even if what he was sitting on looked like bum-numbingly uncomfortable.
Like everyone else.
Dennis pulled up the hood on his anorak so that Mr. Hawtrey wouldn't spot him.
Now,
he didn't even go to the school anymore, and the headmaster still terrified him. Dennis was surprised to see Lisa standing in the crowd with Mac. What are you doing here? He asked. I didn't even know you liked football. Well, it is the final, said Lisa casually. I just wanted to come and support like everyone else.
Lisa, joked Dennis. Oi, watch it, you.
I feel a bit embarrassed now, Dennis, said Mac tentatively.
Ask
you out on a date and everything. Oh, don't worry, Mac, said Dennis. I was flattered in a way. Well, you did look very pretty as a girl, said Mac. Lisa burst out laughing.
I will.
Prettier than Lisa,
Dennis.
Oi, watch it, you, said Lisa, smiling. Out of the corner of his eye, Dennis saw Miss Windsor making her way across the pitch to take her place in the crowd. Have you apologised to Miss Windsor yet, Dennis? Asked Lisa with a tone that suggested she already knew the answer.
Yeah, all right.
Not yet, Lisa.
I just can't do it.
But I will,
can I?
squirmed Dennis. Dennis, she said Lisa sharply. I will. You did really upset her, added Mac as he somehow managed to put a whole caramac into his mouth. I saw her in Raj's shop yesterday. Well, she cried when she saw a bottle of Orangina.
And their team played dirty, going in really hard for tackles.
Yeah, alright, I will. I just can't do it right now, can I? Not with Hawtrey sitting right there, said Dennis, concealing himself behind Mac's bulk and turning his attention to the match. The opposition was Magdalen Street. They had lifted the trophy every year for the last 3 years. It was a notoriously rough school, and their team played dirty, going in really hard for tackles, elbowing opponents, even once poking a referee in the eye. I mean, if I can do that on FIFA tomorrow, I might stand a chance. Dennis's school, or rather ex-school, have never won, and almost people were...
defenders before they scored another goal. Then another.
Almost people were expecting of them was a heroic defeat. Especially now that their best player had been expelled.
Come on. We couldn't win this one without
2-4, Magdalen Street got off to a strong start, scoring in the first few minutes. One of their team was given the yellow card for administering a Chinese burn to one of the defenders before they scored another goal.
There was a
then another. Darvesh ran up to Gareth. We don't stand a chance. We need Dennis. He's expelled Darvesh. Come on. We couldn't win this one without him. No, we can't, and you know it. Gareth ran off after the ball. Another goal for Magdalen Street. 4-0. This was turning into a massacre.
This is a disaster.
There was a lull for a moment as Darvesh's mum and Miss
Bringing
Winters
shame on the
stretchered
school.
off one of the boys'
Snarled
school's
the
team.
headmaster.
One of the Maudlins
sorry,
centre
sir,
forward
but you expelled our best
accidentally
player.
stamped
You
on his
don't have
leg.
a chance without Dennis.
Darvesh
That
shouted
boy
at Gareth,
is not
"Please, Gareth,
playing."
do something!" Gareth sighed and ran over to
Well,
Mr. Hawtree.
But we need him.
"What do you want,
I'm not
boy?
having that
This is a
dress-wearing
disaster.
disgrace of a boy representing
You're bringing
the
shame
school.
on the school!" snarled the headmaster.
Please, sir.
"I'm sorry, sir,
Stay
but
on,
you expelled
boy,"
our best
said Mr.
player.
Hawtree with
We don't have a
dismissive
chance
wave of
without
his hand.
Dennis."
Gareth ran back.
"Well, that
into
boy
the
is not
Within moments, he was
playing."
lying in agony on the wet grass after one of the Magdalen Street forwards booted the ball straight at his
Gareth's
groin.
face fell. "But we
Ooh.
need him."
Ouch.
"I'm not having that dress-wearing disgrace of a boy
The striker
representing the
had regained
school.
possession of the ball and hammered it into the goal.
"Please, sir." "Play on, boy,"
You should
said
really
Mr.
let the boy
Hawtree with a
play,
dismissive
Mr.
wave of his
Headmaster,
hand.
said Darvesh.
Gareth ran back onto the pitch. Within
I'd be
moments, he was
grateful
lying
if
in
you mind
agony
your
on the
own
wet
business,
grass after
man,
one of the Magdalen
said
Street
Mr.
forwards
Hawtree
booted
replied.
the ball straight at his
Come on,
groin.
Mac, said Lisa bossily.
Ooh.
I need a hand.
Ouch.
Where are you guys going? Asked Dennis. You'll
The
see.
striker had regained possession of the ball and hammered it
Marched off across
into the
playing
goal.
fields with Mac trailing behind. The Magdalen supporters
"You know, you should
once
really let
again
the boy
howled
play,
with
Mr.
delight.
Headmaster,"
Another
said
goal.
Darvesh's
Dennis
mum
closed his
urgently.
eyes. He couldn't watch.
"I'd be grateful if you minded your own business, madam," snapped
Chapter
Mr. Hawtree in
18,
reply.
We're flying for him.
"Come on, Mac,"
Absolutely
said Lisa
flying through 'em.
bossily. "I
This
need
was
a hand."
1,000 smiles. Hang on, let me see how many pages there are. I wonder
"Where are
if
you
we
guys
can-
going?" asked Dennis. "You'll see,"
I don't know if we'll quite finish.
replied Lisa with a wink. She marched off across the playing fields with Mac trailing
1,000
behind.
smiles.
The Magdalen supporters once again howled with
Where
delight.
the hell
Another
are
goal.
they? Yelled Mr.
Dennis closed his
Hawtree
eyes.
at no
He
one in
couldn't watch
particular.
anymore.
The second half was about to begin, and Magdalen Street were all
Chapter
waiting on the
18. We're flying
pitch,
through
eager
him.
to finish off their
Absolutely
demolition
flying
job.
through them.
The school's
This was
team
called
was
1,000
nowhere to be seen.
Smiles.
As
Let
they
me see
ran
how many
away,
pages there are. I wonder if we can
then,
finish it today.
suddenly, Lisa stepped out of the changing room.
I don't know if we'll
and held
quite
the door
finish it.
open. First, Gareth ran out, wearing a gold lame.
1,000 Smiles.
Lame?
Where the hell are they? Yelled Mr.
Then
Hawtree at no one in
Darvish followed
particular.
in a yellow
The second
polka-dot
half was
frock.
about to begin,
Then the
and
defenders
Magdalen
were
Street
right
were
behind
all
them,
waiting on the
matching
pitch,
red cocktail
eager to
dresses.
finish off their
The rest
demolition
of the team
job.
followed in a
The
variety
school's
of
team was
outfits
nowhere
from
to be
Lisa's
seen.
wardrobe.
Had
And
they run
finally,
away?
Dennis came
Then,
out of the
suddenly,
dressing room
Lisa
in his
stepped
pink
out of the changing room and held the door
bridesmaid's
open.
dress.
First, Gareth ran
Got a
out,
picture.
wearing a gold lame
There it is.
lame
There it is.
ball gown. Then
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing
Darvesh
tomorrow
followed in a yellow
morning,
polka
afternoon,
dot frock.
tonight.
Then the defenders were right behind in matching red cocktail dresses.
I don't even know what you guys are
The rest of
doing
the
tomorrow.
team followed in a variety of outfits from Lisa's wardrobe. And finally,
There was a
Dennis
huge
came
cheer
out
from the
of the
crowd.
dressing room in
Dennis
a pink
looked at Lisa and smiled.
bridesmaid's dress.
Go get him, kid.
We've got a
Said.
picture.
As they ran onto the pitch, Mr. Hawtree bellowed.
There it is.
What on earth do you
Here
think
it
you're
is.
doing, boy? Got another picture.
Oh, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow morning,
These
afternoon,
pictures about someone
tonight.
called Quentin Blake. He does all the pictures.
I don't know, Luke.
The Roald Dahl books and
I
stuff.
don't even know what you guys are doing tomorrow. There was a huge cheer from the crowd.
You
Dennis
expelled
looked at
Dennis for
Lisa
wearing
and
a
smiled.
dress. You can't expel
Go
us
get him,
all,
kid.
sir. He shouted back
She said.
triumphantly.
As they ran
All
onto
the
the
boys in
pitch,
team
Mr.
lined
Hawtree
up
bellowed at
quietly
Gareth.
behind their captain.
What on earth do you think you're doing, boy? Got another
The
picture.
crowd went wild. This is a disgrace! Bellowed
These
Mr.
pictures are by
Hawtree,
someone
and
called
stormed off,
Quentin Blake.
angrily
Does all the
brandishing
did
his
all the
walking
pictures of the
stick
Roald Dahl
seat
books
thing.
and stuff.
Gareth smiled at Dennis. Come on, boys. Let's do it, said Gareth.
You expelled Dennis for wearing a dress. You can't expel us all, sir, he shouted back
Seconds, Dennis
triumphantly.
had scored a goal.
All the boys in the
The
team
Magdalen
lined up
Street team were in
defiantly
shock.
behind their
They were
captain,
still
striking
6-1
poses
down.
like they were dancers
Dennis
in the
and his
Madonna
teammates were
video.
back in the game.
The crowd went wild.
Woo! Shouted
This is a
Darvish,
disgrace!
his
bellowed
skirt
Mr.
weaved around the
Hawtree, who
defender.
stormed off, angrily
Laughing,
brandishing his
Dennis
walking
scored
stick
again.
seat thing.
He was on his way to a
Gareth
hat
smiled
trick,
at Dennis.
and he was 100 times
Come on,
happier than
boys!
he'd ever been.
Well, let's do it!
He was doing the two things he loved most at
Gareth.
once: playing football.
The bemused
and wearing
referee
a
blew
dress.
his whistle before
Then
it fell out
Darvish
of his
scored,
mouth.
sliding
Within
across the
seconds,
pitch,
Dennis had
adding
scored a
large
goal.
grass stain
The
to
Magdalen
his
Street team
sock.
were in
Sneaked the
shock.
ball past the
They were
Magdalen
still
Street
6-1
goal.
down,
6-3.
but Dennis and his
My
teammates
boy,
were back
my
in the
boy,
game.
Polka dot yellow dress has scored!
Woo!
Shouted
shouted
Darvish
Darvesh as he hitched up his skirt and weaved around a
They
defender.
were on fire.
Laughing, Dennis scored again. He was on his way to a hat-trick, and he was 100 times happier than he'd ever been. He was doing the two things he loved most at once, playing football and wearing a dress. Then Darvesh scored, sliding across the pitch, adding a large grass stain to his frock, as he sneaked the ball past the Magdalen Street goalie. 6-3. My boy with the polka dot yellow dress has scored! Shouted Darvesh's mum.
A few more minutes of game to play.
They were on fire. Dennis set up a fantastic cross for Gareth, who just had to tap it into the net. 6-4. Gareth being Gareth celebrated like his goal would be replayed forever on Match of the Day, doing 3 victory laps of the pitch and hitching up his gold lame ball gown as he ran. The crowd laughed and cheered. Then another goal followed, and another. 6-6. 6-all, everyone. Now, there were only a few more minutes of game to play. One more to go, and they'd have done it. Come on, Dennis! Shouted Lisa. You can do it!
In pain. The crowd.
Dennis looked over at her and smiled.
One of the Magdalen Street strikers
would be really cool if I scored
kicked
now,
him right in the shin,
especially in front of
didn't
Lisa.
even have the ball.
My
Dennis
future wife.
Holding his leg in agony. The referee had seen nothing.
Got a picture of Darvesh's mum going, "Oh, wild!"
protested the Magdalen Street boy. The crowd booed. Dennis was trying really hard not to cry. He opened his eyes, and his vision swam. Lying there, grass pressing under his
But at that
cheek,
moment, Dennis fell to the ground in pain. The crowd gasped.
Through the tears, he glimpsed
one of the Magdalen Street strikers nobbled him, kicked him right in the shin when he didn't even have the ball. Dennis lay there in the mud, holding his leg in agony. The referee had seen nothing.
Oi! What's
He's
going
putting
on
it on,
here?
ref! Protested the Magdalen Street boy. The crowd booed. Dennis was trying really hard not to cry. He opened his eyes, and his vision swam. Lying there, grass pressing into his cheek, he peered up at the crowd.
But Dad looked at Dennis.
Through the tears, he glimpsed a red check jacket that looked very familiar. And then the red check jacket turned into a man.
Dennis rose to his feet.
And then the man shouted in a deep voice that was even more familiar. Oi! What's going on here? Dad.
Okay?
Dennis couldn't believe it. Dad had never come to see him play for the school before. And now here Dennis was, lying on the ground with tears in his eyes, wearing a dress. He was going to be in so much trouble. But Dad looked at Dennis and smiled. Oi! Ref!
What you said about your dad,
he shouted. That kid kicked my son!
Wouldn't want him to miss this.
Dennis rose to his feet. His leg was still glowing with pain, but a warm feeling spreading through him. He steadied himself, then smiled back over at his dad.
Be a better friend.
You okay? Asked Darvesh. Yeah, said Dennis. Come on, son! Shouted Dennis's dad, getting really into it now. You can do it!
Magdalen Street charged towards Darvesh and he passed back to Gareth.
I called him at half-time, said Darvesh. After what you said about your dad never seeing you play in a match, I thought you wouldn't want him to miss this.
Into the back of the
Thanks,
net.
mate, said Dennis. Whenever he thought Darvesh couldn't surprise him anymore,
the final
couldn't be a better friend, he went ahead and did it.
Over.
Gareth tackled the ball off with one of the Magdalen Street boys. Darvesh ran about the outside, and Gareth passed him. Magdalen Street charged towards Darvesh and he passed back to Gareth. Gareth panicked for a moment, then passed to Dennis, who would weave straight past the defence before booting it right over the goalie's head and into the back of the net. The keeper didn't stand a chance. 6-7. The final whistle blew. It was all over.
For a moment, he thought he saw John's face.
I think it's all over.
He couldn't be sure as everything.
It is now. I don't know why I did that as
Connery. In all the excitement. Gareth was going to go up and hug Dennis.
Submastream if I didn't sneak one in.
They were all hugging excitedly, celebrating their victory.
Yes! Shouted the crowd. Go on, my son! Shouted Dennis's dad.
He scooped up Dennis.
Dennis looked over and smiled. For a moment, he thought he saw John's face in the crowd, but he couldn't be sure as everything.
Shouted Dad, helpless.
Seemed to blur in all the excitement. Gareth was going to go up and hug Dennis. Darvesh was next. Within moments, they were all hugging excitedly, celebrating their victory. The school had never won, even got to the semis before, and now they'd won the cup. Dad couldn't contain his excitement and ran onto the pitch. He scooped up Dennis into his arms and sat him on his shoulders. This is my son! This is my boy!
But he kept that for...
shouted Dad, helpless with pride.
Chapter 19. Look at the time. I think we'll press on. I think we'll get it finished.
The crowd erupted with cheers again. Dennis smiled 1,000 times. He looked down at Gareth, Darvish, and the rest of the team, all wearing their dress.
20 pages. Oh, I think we can do it. I think we can do it.
There's just one problem, Dennis thought.
Got a selection for us.
I don't feel that different anymore. But he kept that for to himself.
Where was it? 19. Chapter 19. Dragged in the mud.
Chapter 19. Look at the time. I think we'll press on. I think we'll get it finished.
And their supporters stomped off.
What do you guys think?
Fix or rematch.
I've got
bunch of woofers.
19.
The gleaming silver
Chapter 19. Dragged in the mud.
Cheered. My son, the footballer.
The Morden Street team and their supporters stomped off, muttering things like "fix" or "rematch"
over at his mum and
bunch of woofers.
This is for you.
Gareth passed the gleaming silver cup to Darvish to hold.
One of her tissues.
The crowd cheered.
From her eye.
My son, the footballer! And yellow is so your colour! Exclaimed Darvish's mum.
Not you, boy.
Darvish looked over at his mum and held the cup to her.
But sir,
this is for you, mum, he said.
Still,
she pulled out one of her tissues and wiped a tear from her eye. Darvish then passed the cup to Dennis. At that moment, Mr. Hawtrey reappeared.
Even Miss Windsor allowed herself a little
Not you, boy!
Silence! And there was
but
silence.
Sir, implored Dennis, you are still expelled from this school.
I thought, said Dennis.
The crowd started booing.
Was wrong.
Mac took a toffee bonbon out of his
snarled Mr. Hawtrey.
Mouth momentarily
get
joined
off the school premises before I call the
Even
police.
Miss Windsor allowed herself a little French revolutionary boo.
No!
Silence! And there was silence.
Dad.
Even the adults were scared.
Waded in.
But I thought, said Dennis, whatever you thought, boy, was wrong.
He said. Mr. Hawtrey was taken aback. No one spoke to him
Mr.
like
Hawtrey.
that before.
Now get off the school premises before I call the police. But sir...
My son Darvish...
No!
Added Darvish's mum.
Dad waded in.
Dennis was expelled, though, said Mr. Hawtrey.
You're a right idiot, you, he said. Mr. Hawtrey was taken aback. No one's spoken to him like that before. Ooh. My boy just won the cup for your school. My son Darvish helped too.
You know what?
Added Darvish's mum.
I've got a mind to shove that cup up your what's-it.
Dennis was expelled, though, said Mr. Hawtrey, with a sickeningly smug smile.
Oh dear, he's even more embarrassing than me, muttered Darvish's mum.
Ooh.
Look, Mr. Sims, and he's Dennis Sims, my son, Dennis
You know what?
Sims.
I've got a mind to shove that cup up your what's-it,
you
said
mark my
Dad.
words. And I'm his dad, and I couldn't be prouder.
Oh dear,
Come
he's
on,
even
son.
more embarrassing
Let's
than
go.
me, muttered Darvish's mum.
He took Dennis's hand and led him across.
Look, Mr.
Sims,
Sims, and he's Dennis Sims, my son, Dennis Sims. Remember that name. He'll be a famous footballer one day. You mark my words. And I'm his dad, and I couldn't be prouder. Come on, son, let's go home, said Dad. And he took Dennis's hand and led him across the pitch.
I don't know what I don't.
Dennis's dress dragged in the mud, but he held Dad's hand tightly as he sloshed through the puddles.
I don't know. Chapter 20.
Chapter 20.
Blouse and skirt.
So go on
Sorry,
TikTok.
there's mud all
the deal.
over this, said Dennis as he handed.
I don't know why. I don't understand TikTok.
It was later that afternoon, and they were sat on the floor in their bedroom.
And what would I do? I don't know. Chapter 20.
Dennis, I'm sorry.
Well,
I
that's
tried,
chapter 20.
said Lisa.
Oh, well. Blouse
Lisa,
and skirt.
You were amazing. Thanks to you, I got to play in the final.
I'm sorry, there's mud all over this.
I just need to find another school.
Said Dennis as he handed back the bridesmaid dress to Lisa. It was later that afternoon, and they were sat on the floor in her bedroom.
Dennis laughed. They sat in silence for a moment.
Dennis, I'm sorry. I tried, said Lisa.
Too, Dennis.
Lisa, you were amazing. Thanks to you, I got to play in the final. That's what really mattered. I guess I just need to find another school that might take me. The boy in the dress. Magdalen Street, maybe? Said Lisa with a smile. Dennis laughed. They sat in silence for a moment. I'm going to miss you, he said.
Dennis.
I'm going to miss you too, Dennis. It's going to be sad not seeing you at school, but we can still get together at the weekends, can't we? I want to. Thank you for everything, Lisa.
That's the loveliest thing anyone has ever said to me. Oh, no. Lisa, I want to...
What have you got to thank me for?
Eyes. Lisa looked down.
I got you expelled.
Dennis had never seen her like that before. Well, thank you, Dennis.
Dennis.
That's the loveliest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Lisa looked down shyly. Dennis had never seen her look like that before.
Dennis smiled, and his confidence grew for a moment.
Thank you, Dennis. That's the loveliest thing anyone has ever said to me. Oh, no. Lisa, I want to thank you for opening my eyes. Lisa looked down shyly. Dennis had never seen her like that before. Well, thank you, Dennis. That's the loveliest thing anyone's ever said to me.
Madly? Completely madly what?
Dennis smiled, and his confidence grew for a moment.
Sometimes it's hard to say the things you feel.
And I have something... I have to tell you something, Lisa. Something I wanted to tell you for ages. Yes?
I hope he does. We all have someone who, when we are near them, our heart feels like it is in the sky.
I am completely...
Even when you're a grown-up, sometimes
madly.
The things you feel. Completely
madly what?
Lisa
but he just couldn't say it. Sometimes it's hard to say the things you feel. I'll tell you when I'm older.
Dennis walked past.
Promise, Dennis? I promise.
Going to shop, but Raj,
I hope he does. We all have someone who, when we are near them, our heart feels like it is in the sky. But even when you're a grown-up, sometimes it's hard to say the things you feel. Lisa ran her hands through Dennis's hair. He shut his eyes so he could feel it more.
You know the irony, Dennis.
On the way home, Dennis walked past Raj's shop. He wasn't going to shop, but Raj spotted him and came out of the shop to see him. Dennis, you look so sad. Come in, come in. What on earth is the matter, young man? Dennis told him what happened at the football match, and Raj shook his head in disbelief.
It's true. You know that headmaster was yours. What's his name?
You know the irony, Dennis, proclaimed Raj. Those people who are so quick to judge, be they teachers or politicians or religious leaders or whatever, are normally up to far worse themselves.
I don't know for
sure, murmured Dennis, half listening.
I used to see him.
Not maybe, Dennis. It's true. You know that headmaster was yours. What's his name?
Same time every week, on the dot.
Mr. Hawtree. That's it. Mr. Hawtree. I could swear there's something strange going on with him.
He said it was his sister.
Strange? Asked Dennis, intrigued. I don't know for sure, continued Raj.
Well,
but I used to see him come in here every Sunday at 7 o'clock in the morning for his telegraph.
What?
Same time every week, on the dot, and then after a while, he stopped coming, and his sister came and said, at least he said it was his sister.
Can't seem to shift it.
What do you mean? Well, I can't put my finger on it, but there's something very peculiar about that woman.
6:45, I should be in bed.
Really? What?
I'm sorry.
Come tomorrow at 7 o'clock and see for yourself. Raj tapped his nose.
Sister, so what?
Now,
well, Raj said there was
do you want the other half of that chomp bar? Can't seem to shift it.
Went to be there for 7. They quickened their pace along the.
It's very early for a Sunday, complained Lisa. It's 6:45. I should be in bed.
The absence of people gave the town.
I'm sorry, said Dennis.
Lisa was
so Hawtree's got a sister. So what?
On this particular occasion.
Well, Raj said there was something funny about her. Look, we'd better hurry up if we want to be there for 7. They quickened their pace along the cold, misty streets. The ground was damp from an overnight storm. No one else was up yet, and the absence of people gave the town an eerie feel.
That must be her.
Lisa was, of course, wearing heels, though Dennis wasn't on this particular occasion. All that could be heard was the click-clacking of her heels down the street. Then out of the grey mist stepped a very tall woman dressed in black. She entered the shop. Dennis checked his watch. 7 o'clock, precisely. That must be her, whispered Dennis. They tiptoed over to the shop window and peered through the glass. The woman was indeed buying a copy of the Sunday Telegraph.
As she made her way out of the shop.
So she's buying a newspaper. So what? Whispered Lisa. Shush! Shush, Dennis. We haven't had a proper look at her yet.
The figure looked about to see no one was around.
Raj spotted Dennis and Lisa through the glass and gave them a big wink as the woman turned around. They retreated behind a bin as she made her way out of the shop. Neither Dennis nor Lisa could believe what they saw. If it was Mr. Hawtree's sister, it must have been his twin. She even had a mustache.
Ladylike tone.
The figure looked about to see no one was around, and then hurried down the street. Dennis and Lisa looked at each other and smiled.
Definitely not. I'm
Gotcha.
Mr. Doris.
Mr. Hawtree! Shouted Dennis. The figure turned and
Come off it,
said in a low,
Lisa.
manly voice,
We may be
"Yes,"
kids, but we're
before
not
immediately
stupid.
raising its voice for a
Why have
raising
you got
its voice for a
mustache?
ladylike tone.
Goes Dennis.
I mean no. Dennis and Lisa approached.
Facial hair.
I'm not Mr. Hawtree,
Mr.
no,
High-pitched
definitely not.
Dennis
I'm
and Lisa just
Sister
laughed.
Doris.
Oh, it's you. The boy.
Come off it,
dress.
Hawtree, said Lisa. You may be
Snarled
kids,
Hawtree
but
in a
we're not
low
stupid.
voice. He knew the game was up now. Yes.
Why have you got a
Before
mustache?
you
Accused
expelled
Dennis.
For wearing a dress.
I have a
You are wearing
slight
one yourself.
facial hair problem, was the high-pitched reply. Dennis and Lisa
Not a
just
dress, boy,
laughed.
It's a blouse and skirt. Snapped Mr. Hawtree.
Oh, it's you.
Nice
The
heels,
boy
sir.
in the
Mr.
dress.
Hawtree's eyes bulged.
Snarled Mr. Hawtree in a low voice.
do you
He
want
knew the
from
game
me?
was up now.
He demanded.
Yes, replied Dennis.
I want
The
Dennis
boy you
reinstated at the
expelled
school,
for wearing a
demanded
dress. And here you are, wearing one yourself.
Lisa. Impossible, I'm afraid. Not wearing the school
It's
correct.
not a dress, boy, it's a blouse and skirt, snapped Mr. Hawtree. Nice heels, sir. Mr. Hawtree's eyes bulged.
Well, what if it
What
got
do
out
you
that
want
like
from
dressing
me?
Like this?
He demanded.
Asked Lisa. You'd be alive.
I want Dennis reinstated at the school, demanded
Are
Lisa.
you trying to blackmail me? Mr. Hawtree asked severely.
Impossible, I'm afraid.
Lisa and
Not
Dennis
wearing the
simultaneously.
correct school uniform is a very serious
said Mr.
offence,
Hawtree,
said
suddenly
Mr.
disappointed.
Hawtree with headmasterly
Well, it
confidence.
seems I have no choice then. Come back to school on Monday
Well,
morning.
What if it got out that you like
boy.
dressing like this? asked
You need to
Lisa.
swear that you
You'd
will
be
never
a
mention
laughing
this to
stock.
Anyone.
Are you trying to blackmail me? Mr. Hawtree asked
swear,
severely.
said
Yes, said Lisa and Dennis
Mr. Hawtree looked
simultaneously.
at Lisa.
Oh,
She was silent for a
said
moment,
Mr. Hawtree,
enjoying
suddenly
the power
deflated.
she still had over him.
Well, it seems I have no choice then. Come back to school on Monday morning, in correct school uniform, boy. But you need to swear that you will never mention this to anyone,
Grand piano.
added Mr.
Oh, okay,
Hawtree
I swear to, she
sternly.
said eventually.
I swear,
Nope.
said
And
Dennis.
another thing. I almost
Mr.
forgot,
Hawtree looked at
said
Lisa.
Dennis.
She was silent for a moment, enjoying the power she
Boy.
still had over him.
Yeah. Let's have proper footballs allowed in the playground at Bakerstown from now on, continued Dennis confidently.
She
There's
smiled
no good
wider,
thing with tennis
wider than a grand
Anything
piano.
else? Roared Mr.
Oh, okay,
Hawtree.
I swear to,
No,
she
I
said
think that's
eventually.
everything. Said
Thank
Dennis.
you. And another thing, I almost
If you
forgot,
think of anything
said
else,
Dennis.
we'll sure let you know, added Lisa.
Boy,
Thank you
Yeah,
so
let's
much.
have proper footballs allowed
said
in the
Mr.
playground
Hawtree
at bake time
sarcastically.
from now on, continued Dennis
You know,
confidently.
It's not always
It's
easy
no
being
good
a
playing with
headmaster,
tennis balls.
shouting at people all the
Anything
time, telling them
else?
off, expelling
Roared
them.
Mr.
I need
Hawtree.
to dress up like this.
No, I
to
think
go
that's
on.
everything, said Dennis.
Well, that's cool. But why don't you try being a
If we think of anything else, we'll sure let you know, added
Utterly
Lisa.
absurd idea.
Thank
Mr.
you
Hawtree.
so much, said
See you
Mr.
on Monday
Hawtree
then,
sarcastically.
miss, said Dennis, laughing. Sorry, I mean,
You know,
sir.
It's not always easy
Mr.
being a
Hawtree
headmaster,
turned,
shouting at
began to
people
run
all
home
the
as
time,
fast
telling
as
them
his
off,
legs would
expelling
let
them. I
him.
need to
Just
dress
as
up
he
like this to
disappeared around the corner,
unwind.
He kicked his shoes off.
Well, that's
picked them up,
cool.
and
But
started
why don't you
sprinting.
try being a bit nicer to everyone?
Dennis
asked
and Lisa
Lisa.
laughed so
Utterly
loudly,
absurd
they woke
idea,
up the
replied
whole
Mr. Hawtree.
Well,
See you
I
on
think
Monday
I'll
then, miss, said Dennis, laughing. Sorry, I mean
just-
sir.
by the looks of it.
Mr. Hawtree turned and began to run home as fast as his heels
Well,
would
we
let
may
him.
as well go a little bit
Just as he
later.
was about to disappear around the corner,
Weird
he
to
kicked his
see
shoes
that.
off, picked them up, and started sprinting.
Next week. Chapter 21.
Dennis and Lisa laughed so
Big
loudly
hairy
they woke up
hands.
the whole street.
Scary hands.
Oh, I think we're going to just
Scary hands.
get it all in by the looks of it. Oh, there's more
What are
pages
you
than I
wearing
thought.
that for?
Well, we
Dad,
may as well go a
it was
little
Monday
bit longer
morning.
just because
And he was staring at Dennis.
It'd be
who
weird
was
to just
sitting
do, like,
at the kitchen table, eating
the
his
last
Rice
chapter
Krispies
next
for the
week.
first time in a week.
Chapter
Wearing
21
his school uniform.
Big Hairy Hands.
I'm going back to school today, Dad,
hands.
replied Dennis.
Big hairy
The
hands.
headmaster's changed his mind about being expelled. He has? Why? He's a
What are you
nasty
wearing
piece of
that
work,
for?
man.
asked Dad. It was Monday
It's a long
morning.
story.
And he was staring at
Suppose he
Dennis,
thought
who
that the
was
dressing
sitting
up
at the
wasn't so
kitchen
bad
table
after
eating his
all.
Rice Krispies for the first time in a week,
Well,
wearing his school
he's
uniform.
right. It isn't. You know, I was very proud
I'm
of
going
him
back
out
to
there
school
on
today,
that-
Dad, replied Dennis.
Brave.
The headmaster's changed his
That
mind about
really
being
did
expelled.
it's pretty hard.
He
said
has?
Dennis.
Why? He's a nasty
I
piece
don't
of
just
work,
mean
that man.
I mean, going out there and
It's a long story. I
That's
suppose he
brave.
thought that the
I
dressing
wouldn't
up
be
wasn't
able
so
to do
bad
it.
after all.
You're a great lad, really. You are.
Well,
Wasn't.
He's
hasn't been
right.
easy for
It
you since
isn't.
Mum left.
you know, I was very proud of you
I've
out
been
there
very
on that
happy, and
pitch.
I know
You were
sometimes
very
I've
brave.
taken it out on you and your brother.
That boy really did kick me pretty hard, said Dennis.
It's okay, Dad. I still love you.
I don't just mean that. I mean going out there in that dress. That was brave. I wouldn't be able to do it.
I didn't have.
You're a great lad, really, you are.
It's just too.
Hasn't been easy for you since Mum left.
I loved your mum.
I've been very unhappy, and I know sometimes I've taken it out on you and your brother. And I'm sorry for that.
Being a grown-up is complicated like that.
It's okay, Dad. I still love you. Dad reached into his jacket pocket and pulled out the photograph he had taken of his family at the beach. I didn't have the heart to burn it, son. It's just too painful for me to look at photos like that.
Thanks.
I loved your mum very much, you see. I still love her now after everything.
John, as he entered the room.
Being a grown-up is complicated like that. But it's your photo, Dennis. You keep it safe.
Stupid headmaster's changed.
Dad's hand trembled as he passed the charred photograph back to his son. Dennis looked at it again, then slid it carefully into his breast pocket. Thanks, Dad, he said.
Some of the older kids might pick on you.
Oh, sorry. All right, said John as he entered the room. You coming back to school then?
Well, you need to look after your
brother, replied Dennis.
Said Dad.
That stupid headmaster's changed his mind, added Dad.
A picture?
Well, I think it's really brave going back, said John as he put on some stale slices of bread in the toaster. Some of the older kids might pick on you.
Yeah, I will.
Dennis looked down at the lino.
I'll have a go back. You're my brother.
Well, you need to look after your brother then, don't you, John? Said Dad.
Good boy, John, said Dad, trying not to cry.
There's a picture.
I've got to go, boys.
A picture?
I've got to drive a load of bog rolls to Bradford. He walked over to the
Sims boys.
I'm very proud of you both, you know. Whatever you do...
Yeah, I will. If anyone has a go, I'll have a go back. You're my brother, and I'll protect you. Good boy, John, said Dad, trying not to cry. I've got to go, boys. I've got to drive a load of bog rolls to Bradford. He walked over to the door and then turned back for a moment. I'm very proud of you both, you know. Whatever you do, you'll always be my boys.
Shining for the first time in a million years. It's a shame you missed the final, said Dennis as they walked to school.
You're all I've got.
Yeah, said John.
He couldn't quite look at them as he spoke.
Hang around outside
and then he quickly left, shutting the door behind him. Dennis and John looked at each other.
I thought for a moment
it was as
your face in the crowd.
An ice age had fallen and the sun was shining for the first time in a million years.
Well, actually...
It's a shame you missed the final, said Dennis as they walked to school together. Yeah, said John. I just had to, you know, hang around outside the leisure centre with my mates.
Run onto that pitch at the end and do all that hugging.
That's funny. I thought for a moment I saw your face in the crowd, but I suppose it must have been someone else.
Well, I'm glad you were there.
John coughed.
Even though you didn't tell me.
Well, actually, it sort of was there. I knew it, said Dennis, smiling. Why didn't you let on? I was going to, sputtered John, but I just couldn't run onto that pitch at the end and do all that hugging stuff. I wanted to, honest, but I don't know. I'm sorry. Well, I'm glad you were there, even if you didn't tell me. You don't need to be sorry. Thanks. Sorry. They walked in silence for a moment.
Fun? Said John.
What I still don't get,
well, you know when we were younger, we used to run around the
why you did it.
To be Daleks or Spider-Man or whatever.
Did what?
Yeah.
Put on that dress in the first place.
It felt like that. Like
I don't know, really, said Dennis, a puzzled-looking
I used to like playing.
Look crossing his face.
Almost to
I suppose because it was fun.
Down the street.
Fun? Said John. Well, you know when we were younger, we used to run around the garden pretending to be Daleks or Spider-Man or whatever.
Bright green sari and wig and full makeup.
It felt like that. Like playing, said Dennis confidently.
Said Raj.
I used to like playing, said John, almost to himself as they continued down the street.
No, I'm not Raj, said Raj. Raj is not here today.
What the? Said John, as he and Dennis entered Raj's shop to find Raj in a resplendent bright green sari and wig and full makeup.
Raj, we know it's you.
Morning, boys, said Raj in a ridiculously high-pitched voice. Morning, Raj, said Dennis. Oh no, I'm not Raj, said Raj. Raj is not here today, but he has let me in charge of the shop. I'm his Aunt Indira.
All right, I get
Raj,
the point.
we know it's you, said John.
I was hoping I'd get my own.
Oh dear, said Raj, detective. I've been up since dawn putting this look together. What gave it away so quickly? The stubble, said Dennis, The Adam's apple, added John.
Well, you very
Those
nearly
big
did
hairy
something,
hands,
said
continued Dennis.
You were incredibly convincing as a woman.
All right, I get the point, said Raj hurriedly.
So where did you
I was hoping I'd get my own back by fooling you, Dennis, after you played that trick on me.
Lady, so it's a good fit. Raj lowered his voice for a moment and looked around so no one else could hear. She doesn't know I've got it on.
Well, you very nearly did fool me, Raj, said Dennis kindly. You were incredibly convincing as a woman. He smiled, looking admiringly at Raj's outfit.
It's okay,
So where did you get that sari? It's my wife's. Luckily, she's a very big lady, so it's a good fit. Raj lowered his voice for a moment and looked around so no one else could hear. She doesn't know I've got it on, so if you could see her, it's best not. If you see her, it's best not to mention it.
What's about
It's okay, Raj. We won't, said Dennis.
Oh,
thank you so much.
I'd like to read the Sunday Times. Is all, said Dennis.
Thank you so much.
Well,
good tip about your headmaster, Mr. Hawtrey. Yes, said Raj with a wink of the eyeliner kicked eye.
Quavers, please, Raj.
Oh yes, thank you, Raj, said Dennis, winking back.
One extra free, said Raj.
What's about Hawtrey? Asked John.
All right. Then,
oh, nothing. He just likes to read the Sunday Times.
Picked up another bag of quavers and gave it to Dennis.
Said Dennis.
Raj then produced.
Well, we better go. We're going to be late, said John, tugging his brother's arm. Just this bag of quavers, please, Raj. Buy 2 bags of quavers. I give you 1 extra free, said Raj with a great delight in his special new offer.
Good luck today, Dennis, exclaimed.
All right then, said John. That sounds good.
I'll be thinking of you.
He picked up another bag of quavers and gave it to Dennis. Raj then produced a single quaver from a bag. And there is your free quaver.
It's the final
So that's 2 bags of quavers, 58p.
Chapter 22.
Thank you so much.
One thing
John looked confused. Good luck today, Dennis, exclaimed Raj as the 2 boys left the shop. I'll be thinking of you.
Throat's feeling a bit sore from doing all this talking.
We've got the final chapter. It's the final chapter. Chapter 22. One thing left to do.
Entering the school gates,
what is
Dennis
that thing, I
spotted
wonder?
Darvish waiting for him, holding a brand new...
We'll find out very shortly.
Do you fancy a kickabout? Asked Darvish.
Doing all this
My
talking.
mum bought me this yesterday. We're allowed to play with proper footballs in the playground now, he added, bouncing the ball triumphantly. Really? So, yeah,
I said a little sip and I gulped it
I
all
wonder
down.
why Hawtrey changed his mind.
Entering the school gates, Dennis spotted Darvish waiting
then?
for him, holding a brand new
Darvish
football.
eagerly. At that moment,
Do you fancy a
Dennis saw
kickabout?
Windsor
Asked Darvish.
and a yellow Citroen 2
My mum bought me this yesterday. We're allowed to play with proper footballs in the
Wasn't so much a
playground
car,
now,
more a
he added,
dustbin
bouncing
on
the
wheels.
ball
It was
triumphantly.
French, and she
Really?
loved it.
So, yeah,
Well,
said Dennis.
catch up with
I
you
wonder
at the
why
break,
Hawtrey
okay?
changed
Said
his
Dennis.
mind. He knows.
Okay, Dennis.
Do you want to
We'll
play
have a proper
then?
game
Said asked
Said
Darvish eagerly.
Doing keepy-upsies as he made his way to
At
the
that
classroom.
moment, Dennis saw Miss Windsor parking her yellow
John,
Citroen 2 CV.
Wait here a
Don't know
moment,
what that
will
is.
you? Said Dennis. There's one thing I
It wasn't so
still need
much
to
a
do.
car, more a dustbin on
Dennis took a
wheels.
deep
But it
breath.
was French, and she loved it.
Miss,
I'll catch up
called
with you at
out.
break, okay?
Yes.
Said Dennis.
John hung out back a little.
Okay, Dennis, we'll have a
Oh,
proper game
it's
then,
you,
replied
said
Darvish,
Miss Windsor
doing keepy-upsies as he
What
made
do
his
you
way to the
want?
classroom.
I just wanted to say I'm really sorry.
John,
I am.
wait here a
I'm
moment, will
sorry.
you?
I really
Said
shouldn't
Dennis.
have said
There's
that.
one thing I still
He
need to
didn't have
do.
a good French accent.
Dennis took a deep
Miss
breath.
Windsor remained silent. And
Miss,
Dennis
he
squirmed,
called
trying to
out.
think of something else to
Miss.
say.
John hung
Yes,
out
you
back
do.
a little.
You actually have a really good French
Oh,
accent.
it's you,
Ma'am-
said Miss
Mademoiselle.
Windsor frostily.
It sounds
What
like
do you
have
want?
A real, actually
I just
proper
wanted to
French
say I'm
person.
really sorry. I am.
Well,
I'm sorry.
thank
I
you,
really
Dennis,
shouldn't have said
or
that.
Merci
You
beaucoup,
didn't have a
Dennis.
good French
So I
accent.
would say en français.
Miss Windsor remained
Said
silent.
Miss Windsor, warming a little.
And Dennis
Well
squirmed,
done on
trying to
Saturday.
think of something else to
Wonderful
say.
You actually look
Because you
very
do.
convincing in a
You actually have a
dressing
really good French
room.
accent,
Thank you, Miss.
Ma'am,
Actually,
Mademoiselle.
I'm glad you're here,
It sounds
said
like
Miss
you have a
Windsor.
real,
You
actually
see,
proper
I'm
French
written a play.
person.
Oh, yes.
Well, thank you, Dennis. Or,
Dennis
merci
is
beaucoup,
French.
Dennis.
It's
As
a
I would
play
say
about
en
the life of Joan of
français,
Arc,
said Miss
15th
Windsor,
century
warming a little.
French religious
Well done on
martyr.
Saturday. Wonderful
Wow,
match.
that's,
You actually look very convincing in a
uh,
dress, you know.
None
Thank
of
you,
the girls
miss.
Want to play her
Actually, I'm
anyway.
glad you're
I thought
here,
it'd be
said Miss
fascinating
Windsor.
to have a boy
You see,
play her.
I've written a
This, of course,
play.
Was a girl who wore boys'
Oh,
clothes.
yes, said
Dennis, I think you would make
Dennis with
a very
trepidation.
Memorable.
It's a play about the life of Joan of Arc, the 15th century French religious
Dennis looked to
martyr.
his brother for help.
Wow, that
John
sounds...
It certainly sounds.
None of the girls want to play her anyway.
Interesting.
I thought it would be fascinating to have a boy play her.
Wonderful.
As she, of course, was a girl who wore boys' clothing.
Pain au chocolat.
Dennis, I think you would make
okay,
a
miss,
very
said Dennis,
memorable
trying to hide
Joan.
his dread. He walked away slowly and quietly as he might retreat.
Dennis looked to his brother for help, but John smirked. It certainly sounds...
The play is entirely
interesting.
Au revoir, she called after him.
Wonderful.
Au revoir.
Let's meet up at break time and discuss it over a pain au chocolat.
Accent he could manage.
Okay, miss, said Dennis, trying to hide his dread. He walked away slowly and quietly as he might retreat from a bomb that may be about to go
towards
off.
the main school building. John put his arm around him.
I should have said, the play is entirely in French. Au revoir, she called after him. Au revoir, he called back in the most un-French accent he could manage.
There we go.
Now that I can't wait to see, said John, laughing. As they walked off together,
Lloyd says we should do a vote
towards the main school building. John put his arm around him.
Thing is, I don't
Dennis
have any books
smiled.
here for us to
the
vote
world
on.
felt different.
That's
the
maybe
picture
next week in our
the book
sharing stream we'll have to do the vote
ends on.
and literally start it after you guys.
There we go.
Don't have any on.
Well, we finished that book. Now, Lloyd says we should do a vote for the next book.
Or a doodle
Thing is, I don't have any books here for us to vote
on our next book.
So maybe next week in our sharing stream we'll have to do the vote then.
I'll have a think about it.
And we'll literally start it after you guys have
So remember our challenge for this week. I don't
have any on me.
Hear about them. I want to see photos. To do something you've never.
Or maybe I'll post a little like
poll
thing, like a Facebook poll or a doodle poll or something, and then we can all vote on our next
George
book.
is making a bacon sandwich by himself for the first time, so it could be something like doing
Once
laundry.
I get that done.
Could be
I'll have a think about
trying
it.
To learn a new
yeah.
skill.
So remember our challenge for this week. I want to hear about them. I want to see photos. To do something you've never tried ever before, or to do something you've never done all by yourself before. So inspired by George is making a bacon sandwich by himself for the first time, so it could be something like doing the laundry, it could be trying to learn a new skill. Let's see what we can all do.
Might be one on Wednesday.
Yeah, business as usual tomorrow. This Friday is the
live quiz was so popular. We might
a bank holiday, so there won't be a live stream this coming Friday.
So, if any of you want to write a quiz for our quiz,
so there might be one on Wednesday.
And I'm starting to see the possibilities of using.
Might be another cooking one. And I'm thinking because the live quiz was so popular, we might just do our quizzes live from now on a Tuesday. So, if any of you want to write a quiz for our quiz, you're more than welcome to do that. And I'm starting to see the possibilities of using Zoom to get you all on the screens and stuff. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, thank you very much, everyone. Enjoy your Sundays. And see you tomorrow. Bye.
Yeah, that one.
Bye then. What do you call yourselves? Facebook. Yeah. Bye then. See ya. Au revoir. Auf Wiedersehen. Dzień dobry. Yeah, that one.